The Jets still have a couple of pending free agents, and Robert Saleh decided to send a message to one of them, and he wants him back. Should he? Let's investigate here on Boy Green Daily.
Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rodgers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video program, also available wherever you get your podcast if you prefer the audio-only version. However, if you are watching the video version, no, I do not need help. No, I've not been kidnapped. I am at my sister's house, so new location, still doing the show. That's dedication, baby. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. All right, today's video and show is going to be about the New York Jets and a pending free agent. Robert Saleh sent a message to a pending free agent. That pending free agent was Ashton Davis, and he made it clear that he wants him back. I see Jared B says she must have said keep it down. Actually, everyone is sleeping. I am in the dining room, I suppose, is where I'm currently located right now. So everyone's sleeping upstairs, the whole family. And I'm just, normally I bring that Boy Green energy where I'm screaming and doing all kinds of things, but I'm going to try to keep it toned down just a bit. Also, there's a bunch of cats roaming. There's at least 3 or 4 cats that could jump out at any second. They're very curious about the equipment. Very curious about the equipment. More on that, I'm sure, in just a bit. All right, let's get to the video footage. Robert Saleh was doing an interview with Eric Allen. By the way, I highly recommend it if you guys haven't checked it out. It's on NewYorkJets.com, also on the New York Jets app. He did about a 10-minute interview, one-on-one, kind of recapping all of the free agency moves. I tried to give you guys a couple of clips of the interview of things that stood out to me, but feel free to check out the full thing. Again, NewYorkJets.com. But in the middle of an answer, a little Q&A with EA, Robert Saleh stops and looks at the camera and again sends a message to Ashton Davis. Here is that message.
Would you say you guys are not done at the safety position because you got Chuck, you do have Tony, Ashton Davis remains a free agent out there, Jordan Whitehead goes back to Tampa, and you do have JBC as well?
Traditionally, we keep 4, and we love Ashton. I know he's out there. I know he's looking, but if he watches this video, we love you, buddy.
Yeah, this might be an ASMR episode with me just kind of making little noises and whispering to you. But to be honest here, I think it's cool that Robert Saleh did that. And I think, to be honest, you guys should all want Ashton Davis back. I know I'm the captain, the leader, the tribal chief, you may say, of the Ashton Davis fan club. We'll get into a little WrestleMania before we get out of here, but we'll save that for a little bit later. You should want Ashton Davis back. He brings versatility. When he came out of college, he played some corner, he played some safety, and of course, he was obviously a leader on special teams. The Jets take him in the 3rd round, 68th overall pick in that 2020 draft class that I'm sure a lot of Jet fans would like to forget. But I'll tell you this, I was a fan of him then, and I'm a fan of him now. He was a raw player. He was a track star that just kind of walked onto the football team and kind of figured this football, thing out. And I appreciate, Phil, that you think this is like a cozy, intimate experience. So again, if you guys really like this, I'll try to start to do this in the future. I actually think, it's going to be weird. I think there is music on here. Let me see if I can play some tunes. I don't know what. Oh yeah, here we go. So acoustic cinematic. Let me see if this works. What is this? Can you guys hear that? Oh. How you guys doing? Welcome to Boy Green Daily. Can you guys hear that? The acoustic cinematic? Is that playing in the background? Are you guys hearing that? Wow. Yeah, here we are. Happy Sunday morning to all you guys out there. Way to go. Way to tune into the station. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. Make sure you call in. Call us, talk about your relationship problems. We can try to help you there. This is 104.5, The Sun. Well, we try to help you every Sunday morning. Try to make things happen. I can't believe there's actually acoustic cinematic on here. We haven't used this. Okay, I'll try to use some more of that in the future. Wow, that's a moment. That's a move. That's a moment for sure. But in all seriousness, you guys are going to paint trees. Here we go. Now everyone pick up your paintbrush and let's go crazy. This is awesome on a Sunday, April 7th. But you guys should want Ashton Davis. And I know a lot of people clowned him because he didn't become an immediate starter. Really, he didn't become an immediate starter at any point during his career with the Jets. He was never a full-time starter, let me put it that way. There's been moments where injuries happened and he started some games earlier in his career. But the fact of the matter is you guys should want Ashton back because he just doesn't know football yet. But there's all those traits that you love. To be honest, I thought he could be the perfect center fielder on the Jets defense. I thought he had that potential, this kind of center fielding ball hawk, Ed Reedish, and I get that's a lofty praise to say, but just in theory, on paper, with the talent, and to mix him with the right safety. That's why I thought again, I keep saying in theory, the Jordan Whitehead, Ashton Davis group where he plays a little bit more linebacker and then you have Ashton kind of roaming. Now, the problem with Ashton is that there is a lot of that raw talent, but there isn't some of the basic football instincts that were there, like tackle angles, which we saw in like the Indianapolis game where he took a bad angle. I can't remember if that was Jonathan Taylor down the right hash, and then he's like, oh, geez, and then you're out, you lose. So those are some of the basic football principles that most of us just kind of learned throughout the game that he didn't have because he didn't play football his entire life. So I really love Ashton back. I'm glad Robert Saleh gave him the call out. He would be a phenomenal return. The Jets have Tony Adams, and I think the arrow is pointing in the right direction. They bring back Chuck Clark. $2 million deal. What a freaking deal for Chuck Clark. He was spectacular. A spectacular ad. Obviously gets hurt, tears his ACL in the middle of the summer, and you bring him back on a cheap deal. That's a win-win. If he stinks, okay, you move on. It was $2 million. If he's great, that glue guy that you thought he was going to be, then phenomenal. But the fact of the matter is you're going to need some insurance because, again, Chuck Clark is coming off that torn ACL, so you want another guy who's capable of starting games or those three safety looks or big nickel. That's another reason why I really like Ashton Davis. I love that he can play big nickel. I love that he's a playmaker. To me, I don't think it's luck. When he's always around the ball and he's always making plays, to me, that isn't luck. That's great film study. That's being in the right place at the right time, and that happens consistently. Last year, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 picks. He led the Jets defense in total takeaways, and he played in like 19% of the defensive snaps. And if you extrapolate those numbers, you give him a larger role, more of it is coming on. So that's why, personally, I want Ashton back. I know he's looking for a starting job. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic reported that. But with how the safety market's going, guys like Justin Simmons are still out there on the open market. And there's a lot of big names. Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, go through the whole list. So Ashton is going to be waiting a while if he's going to be waiting for a starting job, and like a straight up starting job. And if it doesn't come, Robert Saleh said the door is open for Ashton to return to the Jets. And again, I hope that he does return to the Jets. He'd be a nice ad. It's not going to be crazy money. And hopefully, you get, and I also think for this reason, the special teams factor, you lost Justin Hardy. He goes to Cleveland, fine. And I've seen a lot of Jet fans on all social medias making fun of that. Like, we don't need him. We can replace him. Fine. I'm not saying it's a killer move. The Jets went from Super Bowl contenders to scrubs because Justin Hardy leaves. I'm not overreacting to that level, but he was a Pro Bowl special teamer, and he was a key leader in the locker room, and now he's gone. And Ashton Davis is another big special teamer. Over the last 2 years, he's played in 75 and 82% of the special team snaps, respectively. I know people overlook that phase of the game, but also with all the rule changes, I think Ashton might be an important piece to the puzzle. You want to retain some of that special team, and you did with Greg Zuerlein, you did with Thomas Morstead, but you're also going to want to as well with Ashton Davis in my mind. So he makes sense from a special teams perspective. You want to have a key guy on that side of the football. And again, you have it in the main positions of kicker, punter, but you want it beyond that. Plus, safety. You want a little bit of insurance on the back end of that defense with Chuck Clark, again, coming off of injury. Tony Adams was nice in that year, but I think that needs a little bit too. And Taylor, that's a really good comment there just coming in on YouTube. We paid a punter, keep his protection, 100%. The PP, the personal punt protector. I guess that's triple P. But regardless, he's the one that makes some of those plays that you don't think about. Plus, he's just an athletic freak. Remember, he's part of some of those fake special teams actions because of that track background. So he can always get involved in the fake on the special teams, which I also think is really creative, another creative way. Hell, I'm going to be honest, we haven't really seen it, I don't think, much in the NFL, unless I'm forgetting Ashton's rookie year. He could be a little bit of a return man. He's a former track star. He is just an athletic piece of clay that the Jets took a dart throw on, and they brought in. Maybe he could get more involved from that perspective, so I wouldn't rule that out either. But Robert Saleh wants him back. Jet fans should want him back. He'd be a nice third safety on this team. And again, I don't think it's going to cost crazy money, especially at this point with everything that we're doing. So Ashton is somebody I would love back. I know everyone wants the splash names. They want the, Justin Simmons or what have you. We'll see if the Jets, dip their toes in those waters. Personally, I think the only way they go that deep is if Justin takes like a very low-cost deal, ton of incentives, and then ends up coming in. I think that's the only way ultimately that you get a Justin Simmons. And maybe that's possible. The longer he stays out there, the higher those chances increase. But Ashton is someone the team is comfortable with, and the team is pretty great. Again, all you need is a couple of insurance policies. You want a little bit of a depth in a couple of key positions. Again, we mentioned running back eventually. Safety's another one. There's a couple of those that we can kind of cherry pick, but the Jets are in a pretty good position here from that perspective. So I can't say enough. I love Ashton's versatility. He can play corner safety. I love his special teams ability. He's been playing the majority of special team snaps over the last 2 seasons. He could be that third safety. He played big nickel last year, which I freaking love that role for him on the defense, and I hope they use it more. And maybe, and I heard Brian Costello, he said this on my show. He said this on Connor's show. Shout out to New York Flight Jets Talk. Kaz said that he views Ashton Davis kind of like Eric Smith. And a lot of us remember Eric Smith. Key special teamer, interesting player in spot duty on defense. But once he was kind of given a big role and saying, okay, you're the starter now, he did not perform as well. And that's how Kaz says he views Ashton. He's good in his limited role, but as soon as you start feeding him too much on his plate, that's where it kind of goes off the reservation. But again, it doesn't have to be that crazy thing with Ashton because, again, you also have Chuck Clark. So I would love to see Ashton back. Salah wants him back. I want him back. Let's make it happen. Ashton Davis would be a move I'd like to see, hopefully before the draft, but with the Jets, they could really push this and wait to after the draft as well. All right, let's dive into the comment section. You guys are freaking crazy. I love it. Paul's going to paint landscapes. Very possible. Painting trees. This is what Jet fans need. Let's go to Tales of an Asphalt Jockey. Davis's game has been on the upswing. Always seemed to make a play when we needed it and was a staple on special teams. We needed the guy back. That's the other thing I love is he's continuing to learn more about the game of football. And that's only helping him. And he just seems to have really, really interesting instincts that are developing in my mind. And again, he's just been in the right place at the right time. Dana says perhaps the music, Sweet Lovemaking Edition. Yeah, let me see. Let me see what other music, because I haven't really done on the music. Let me see. There's dance pop. That can't be it. It's like a rave. I'm about to go to a club. Okay, let's go to Daydream. Oh, this could be it. Okay. Yeah, these are just, by the way, this is the music you are just randomly listening to is just default music on StreamYard here. Okay, let me see. Feeding the Ducks? Like a Sopranos? Okay. Oh, that could be it, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably it right there. Let me see. There's 4 other choices left. Let me see. Into Space. That's like an upbeat piano. Lo-fi. No. Night diving? What the? And then rock, that's got to be like... Yeah, definitely feeding ducks. It's definitely this one. Like, let's set the mood, baby. Yeah, that's it for sure. Yeah, let me dim the lights. Oh, yeah, that's it for sure. Very nice. So now I know where to quickly go if we ever go down that road, Daniel. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Very nice. Yeah, the FM beats right here on Boy Green Daily. Very nice. Wake up, everyone. Yes, Paul is okay. I appreciate that, Paul, in whisper mode. The painting would be all in green white. That is for sure, Jared B. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jet it out. I really love Tyler Nubin from Minnesota. He'll go second round at safety due to a ball hawk. Yeah. Chad Reuter, who's the big NFL.com guy who's been covering the draft for like 20 years. He had a 5-round mock. I tweeted out the results. He had Tyler Nubin to the Jets and a bunch of defense. No offensive line. That made a lot of people angry. But yeah, Tyler Nubin. Yeah, if he somehow slips to the third, I just don't know if that's where the Jets are going to go. They should invest a lot of their offensive resources. Again, wide receiver, offensive line. Safety's up there, but, I'd have to see the player. Maybe it is Nubin in the third round at 72 and you feel really good about it. But did you trade back? Did you get a second? I don't know. TBD. Dano says Davis probably wants to play on the West Coast. Could be. He's a California product, so that could make sense. We heard that about Corey Davis, so we'll see. Back to Dano, he says on YouTube, Corey Davis would be nice. I'm surprised the Bills haven't signed him yet. Yeah, I guess we can only go with everything we've heard that he wants to play closer to home in Nashville, and so far no one's bit yet. We'll see. So Jets are viewed as a backup plan, which I know has made a lot of people upset. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Brant Boyer's been great. He deserves a lot of love. Yeah, there's no one on a couch. There is a couch. I can see it from here. I can see there's like a lot of openings in this house, not to give like a play-by-play blueprint of my sister's house, I guess, that she just bought. So I got a direct. I'm looking forward. I'm in the kitchen. I look to the right. There's kind of like a living room-ish area. Very nice. Couches, fireplace, things of that nature. Yeah, very nice. Phil says, how much salary cap do we have left? Let's double check that. I know someone tweeted it out, but let me see. Salary cap NFL. I'll give that a look right now here on the show. Salary cap NFL. Let's keep a salary cap tracker. Let's see where the New York Jets are on this. Let's see. According to, all right. Okay. Well, if we're using Spot Track, they got $2 million. $2 million left in cap space right now. That's where the Jets are at, which is 31st in the NFL. The only team they're above, according to this, are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have $500,000, $495,000. But besides that, the Jets are 31st in this with a couple million and change. Jet it out. Jet fans are consistent with content every day. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Obviously, it's a challenge to do content every day, but it's something I really enjoy. And by the way, the Jets make it easy with the content they provide for us to all do shows. But I love doing shows every day, and it's a credit to you, the fans. You guys said maybe a year ago or 2 years ago or something, whatever it was. I think it was over a year ago. Like you wanted me to do something more consistent in terms of content because it was kind of random videos, random shows, and things of that nature. So it's credit to you guys because without the fans and the passion for this, I couldn't do this every day. So yeah, it's credit to you guys for wanting the content, and then I have no problem putting the work, baby, and making sure you get that comment on there. So no doubt about it. And I had to bring all the gear. Got the mic here, got the camera. You guys see it all? We brought it all in. R&R. Would I cut JFM to sign Ashton Davis plus more? Absolutely not. It doesn't make sense to cut him, but that was something moving on with something Rich Samiti floated out in a column as a potential ripple effect move of Hassan Reddick semi-recently. He's a $16 million cap hit, but if you cut him, let me rephrase that. You have a $16 million cap hit. If you cut him, it's a $12 million dead cap hit, and then you save like $4 million. That doesn't make any sense. So the only things that truly make sense are maybe approaching him about a straight up pay cut. That's possible. or trade. But even that, like, I think that's still $9 million in dead cap. So no, I wouldn't do it for that. If there was more creative ways to get him in, sure, I would certainly be for that. Let's go back to Daniel here on YouTube. What do I think the new uniform change will be? So here's what we know about the new uniform change. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about it yet. So the Jets have the legacy whites. Those are staying. You're going to have two alternate, or I don't want to use the word alternate. You'll have the home green, which I'm going to assume is going to be like kind of a little bit of that Kelly green, which I don't have to show you because I'm not at my home office, but normally over my right shoulder is the old school Jets helmet. I think it's going to be that green is the home base, and then we will have the alternate black. That was the reporting done by, I believe it's sportslogos.net. Confirmed that we'll have the green and the black. Now, this is the speculation I heard. Remember that we went crazy? It was me. I went crazy. But I went crazy a couple days ago. Oh, it was April 1st. It was like 6 days ago about the Jets teasing New York Titans. And people said, Paul, you're an idiot. That's April Fool's joke. But maybe it isn't from that perspective, because people said if retro is the new, which was also reported by sportslogos.net, that the new primary logo for the Jets would be the retro logo, which is the JETS with the trailing J Jet. If that is the new logo, as it was confirmed by sportslogos.net, then their throwback can't be that. So they would have a different throwback, and people believe that will be New York Titans. I hope so, because I freaking love I love that jersey. I love that look, and I love the honoring of history. I got into some fights on social media with some of the fans saying, "Oh, blue and gold, that's not Jets." Well, if you're a real true historian of the franchise, that is 100% the Jets. They were the New York Titans from 1960 to 1962 before they ended up transitioning over once an ownership change took place and went from the blue and gold to the green and white. So that is a part of our rich history. You don't have to like the jerseys. I'm not trying to force that down your throat, even though I like them. But you should respect the fact that they're part of history. There is the blue and gold. So I would love that. I think we had some really cool moments in some of those jerseys with the Sanchez hot dog and other fun moments with touchdowns and Revis interception against the Raiders in the back of the end zone. Like, I can think of a million plays off the top of things that make a lot of sense to me from that perspective. So, the new uniform, from what we understand, will be a green base home, black alternate, and now my speculation from some of the stuff on social media is a potential throwback alternate of the New York Titans. That also could be in there as well. Daniel asked, do I think there'll be something else we're expecting? Oh, I've not heard anything about the helmets, so I guess I can't confirm or deny any of that speculation. So that part I can. I don't know anything about the helmet. So, also the date. I'm sorry. April 15th, according to sportslogos.net, is when everything is going to be revealed and released. Is the date for when that's going to happen. So, people want to call in. I'll see if I can make some time for that. We will see what's happening here. This is the Whisper series. All right, I'll try to do this more often. All right, let's go through a couple of questions here. Amin Hooper on Twitter. Is there another free agent out there besides NextJet that you'd love for us to sign before the draft? All right, let me think. Well, like I said, I've talked about veteran running back. I think they will wait, so I don't think it's a before draft thing. I think it ends up being a post-draft thing, but Ezekiel Elliott could make sense. J.K. Dobbins at running back could make sense. I'm trying to think of other positions. Wide receiver, again, you could, if the Jets just say, screw it, let's just get our wide receiver not in the draft, but rather in veteran free agency. If the money's right, you could go after perhaps like a Tyler Boyd or an OBJ or something. But I'm not sure if the money's going to make sense, especially as we just revealed the dire circumstance of that with them having like nothing, unless they got super complicated with contract structure. I don't believe they could go in that water, but that could be a path potentially. Swing tackle could be another one. Again, you're going to have to get creative with the money, and maybe they end up slapping a pick and trading Zach Wilson, create $5 million and change from that perspective to create some additional cap room. But that's another one, of course, that could come into play. I also think veteran swing ends up coming in the middle of the offseason, like June, July range. I think that's it when we have some more questions answered from that perspective. So those are a couple that besides ex-Jets. Again, April 15th is the date, according to sportslogos.net. John Sauer, part of our Boy Green Superfan Club. 2 shout-outs here. First off, we have over 500 people watching right now. If you're watching the show, the free way to contribute always is by liking the video and hitting subscribe down below. Help spread the gospel of all things New York Jets. And number 2, if you want to take it to another level, as a lot of these wonderful fans have, like John Sauer, Phil, and so many others, there's a little money sign if you're watching on YouTube. You can join the Boy Green Superfan Club, and every month you can give a small fee, which helps keep the show on like this, whether I'm at my sister's house or I'm on the road or wherever I happen to be. The shows continue, so let's keep making that happen. Phil, yeah, start making eggs and bacon. Sign me up. I think we actually are going to a diner, and I've heard the rule my sister told me is that the crappier the diner looks, the better the food. There is like a direct correlation between crappy outlook, food. That's what I've heard. Yes. Yeah. People are starting to move and groove. That's true. John So says, so we can't pay our draft class then. From what I've been told, I think Rich Samini is the one who said this. If you move Zach Wilson and able to move his full contract, that will pay for the entire draft class. So the Jets may be motivated for that moment to make it happen. All right, baby. Let me give a quick shout out here. Shadow Realm becomes a brand new member of the Boy Green Superfan Club. Shadow Realm has been a loyal commenter for a while. He officially joins the group. So you can do exactly what Shadow Realm just did right now, joining the show. Welcome to the familia, brother. La Ohana. He now joins it again. That little money sign on YouTube. If you're watching now, either live or after the fact, you can do it. You can join Boy Green Superfan Club, get special shout outs, and be a part of the family. Be a part of it. So, Shadow, welcome, brother. Love it. All right, let me jump back into your comments here. Jared B., what time is Iowa, South Carolina? That's cool because, by the way, clear foul. I know we didn't talk about this, but clear foul, UConn. That's a moving screen. That is textbook moving screen. Now, if you don't want them to call that, then don't have the foul. I mean, come on. Like, let's be honest here. So, it depends on time, potentially. Potentially, I will. Yeah, Snowball. I would give more enthusiasm to Shadow Realm if I had, I have the enthusiasm on the inside. I would like to share it more. And he says it's long overdue. So I appreciate that. Yeah, it is overdue, and I love it. And I love you being a part of the family, man. So I would give you a little more mustard if, everyone was fully up, I would. But I will make up for it at a later date. Let's go through a couple more in here. Oh, it's 3 p.m. for the Iowa game. TBD. We'll see. If I was at my house, I would. Here, I don't know. TBD. We'll see what happens. Let's go. Am I tailgating for the draft party? No, I did. I was. I guess I'll reveal this. The Badlands people reached out. They wanted to all do something together for me and their Jets draft party, but it won't happen. I'm in New York. They're in Jersey, so I will not be able to. I won't be a part of this one, the tailgating for the draft party. That would be cool. Or will I be a part of the Badlands, unfortunately, because I can't put all the pieces together. But that would have been awesome for Connor and Joe and everybody. But so that did not happen, unfortunately. So I can't, I'm afraid. Jared B., how many super chats get Paul to run around banging lots of bands together and we got that would be an unbelievable amount of money that you guys don't have. Yeah, I'm not going to do that $20 thing, ferret thing. Now that would be a lot of money for that to happen. Shadowrun, you will get a very loud video something if that one ends up coming out. So TBD in Iowa, South Carolina, but again, that was a foul in UConn. So come on to the Final Four. Let's be honest. You don't want that call. Don't do the foul. You don't want to pay the time. Don't do the crime. That's it, sucker. I need a lampshade. Who said that? There it is. Darren saying, I need a lampshade back there. Yeah, what's happening? I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, that is funny. I'm cool with a Jets helmet. That's possible. They heard meowing. That's very possible. There's a couple of cats running around. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Boy Green coffee mug. Yeah, I got to change up the shop. yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I guess I'll just lay it on the line. I couldn't access the shop, so I haven't been able to change things because I haven't been able to access the shop. They're having some sort of issue there, so I might have to make a brand new shop with everything. So TBD on that, everybody. I'm working because I know there was the sweet passion lovemaking and the bananas and the mugs and everything else that you guys wanted. So a lot of that's under construction. Hopefully, I can do that. So I appreciate it. Phil says, you do a great job, Paul. This is my favorite show. Get my coffee and turn on Jets. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that, pal. Yeah, this is a doozy. This is a doozy, no question about it. I hope so. Yeah, there's been a lot of weird, I don't want to call them cryptic because cryptic has like a bad connotation, but there's been some DJ Reed messages like glory to be God, and it could just be that because glory to be God here on Religion Sunday. But yeah, there's been a lot of those tweets and comments like you'd think like an extension or something big's happening, but I've not been able to confirm anything, so I'm not sure. So I'm not really sure on what that's going to be from that perspective. All right, let's go with a few more here. His sister or my father's daughter would shank me if I did that. So I'm not sure if any amount of money would be satisfactory for that, but I appreciate that. I agree. Yeah, I guess that's true. Kelly, if we don't go Kelly Green, the New York, that color should be the alternate. The black is the alternate from what I hear. That's what we know. And it should be some form of green. This would be the last Boy Green Daily. That is possible. That is possible. All right, Ricky. BG, Jordan Travis had over 10,000 yards and 98 touchdowns in a 4-year college. People aren't sure if we should spend a mid-round fourth rounder on him, really. Again, and I think the Jets, to be honest with you, Ricky, are in the perfect position, quite frankly, to do something like that, because if his stock falls to the fourth round or wherever because of injury, the Jets don't need him immediately. So just like redshirt him, essentially. Bring him in, have a young buck who's going to be learning from Rodgers and Tyrod. And I think there's a lot of stories to tell that that they would love, which would be good. You guys are just funny. Snowball is like, Paul has an idea. Ding! Oh, my God. You guys are funny. That is hilarious. Yep, see, there's one of them. Boop. There's a feline right there, jumping on shot. Hey, Spooks. How you doing? Yep, now just observing the window, watching my back. Appreciate that level of dedication. That's very nice. That's a good point, John. My sister should be making breakfast. That would be very nice. That'd be very entertaining. All right. I might regret this, but all right, let's open up the phone lines, I guess. We can do that to wrap up the show here. Hang on tight. Messing with technology here in a new location. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Open up the phone lines for you guys who are watching the program. Also, I will just say, as we're kind of let me see. Let me drop this in real quick. Video link to call in. Okay. There we go. And let me pin that. Also, real quick on WrestleMania, as we're waiting for the callers, that is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you're watching anywhere else on Facebook or Twitter, you have to go over to youtube.com/boygreen25. Click that pinned link. And if you're on camera and somewhere relatively quiet, although I guess I can't, I can't complain there, feel free. You guys can hop on the show and we'll take a few calls. But real quick, I will say on WrestleMania, wow. A lot to love. Rhea Ripley and her band playing right at the beginning. That was intense. That was awesome. Mommy's always on top. Rhea Ripley ends up beating Becky Lynch, retains the championship. Very nice. The main event was fun with Roman, The Rock against Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins. That was really cool. So I really enjoyed that one. I can't believe Sami Zayn beat Gunther. That one was a big surprise. No question about it. There is another new friend behind me there. Oh. Yep, there you go. Cats all over the place. But that's another really good one. I can't believe that, again, that Sami Zayn took out Gunther. That one was surprising. Definitely didn't see that one coming at all. which is good. Gunter should be right back in the main title picture. We should 100% see that moving forward. That was another good one. I'm trying to remember any of the other. There's a lot of really good matches on the card. The card was spectacular, and I'm looking forward to Sunday's card. There should be a lot of really good stuff coming on the card as well. So keep it coming, everybody. Again, the phone lines are open. The video call-in line is pinned to the top of YouTube, and let's go. We got someone new joining us here, Juice Dog T. Joining us here on the program. What's up, Juice Dog T?
What's up? How you doing? I see y'all talking sports today, man. Talking about beautiful Jets.
Yes, sir. That's right.
I want to check in, but I want to know how you feel about the trade back. I see everybody keep talking about this offensive line. Then we got stuff. I want receiver.
You want receiver? Okay. Who do you want? Which receiver tickles your fancy?
I really want Rome from Washington.
Okay, I like Roma Dunze. He's good, and I think he has a chance to kind of be around there at 10, whether they have to trade him a little bit or he potentially is there at 10. He's a stud, man. He's a stud. I like Roma Dunze.
I love him, but if we miss him, this Robert, they keep comparing to Debo. Love him, and we'll be able to get Sanders, the tight end from Texas.
Oh, okay. You've got a plan here. You got to send this into One Jets Drive, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Yes.
Hey, man, I hope they pick me in the front office one day.
Hey, from what I heard this offseason, they got a lot of openings. Rex Hogan gets his ass tossed out. Everybody's getting thrown around all over the place. Oh, Chad Alexander's out. They have openings. So just want to check the old monster.com or Indeed, whatever the hell they're using for filling those positions. They're open, man. And you got my vote of confidence. That's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about our capability of actually signing all the big four players? Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Sauce, and we got to bring back Izzy.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of it's going to be a lot of money, but the fact of the matter is the Jets just got to be upfront like Sauce. He's going to be the new highest paid corner in football. The highest paid corner in football right now, I believe, is Jair Alexander. That's around 21 mil. So Sauce is going to top him. So you bring him back, and I would bring him back as early as you can, which is next offseason. That's the first time the Jets can start talking. Yeah, that's the first time. Excuse me, you can start talking because obviously we're going to hire you to be doing the negotiating with Sauce Gardner, obviously. So it'll be the first time you're allowed to talk to him. We should just lock him up right then and there. He will still have multiple years left on his contract, plus what we're going to add to the table. He deserves it. Let's reward him richly. Brees will be the interesting one because after this year, it's kind of crazy that time just flies by this fast. After this season, Brees Hall has 1 year left on his rookie deal, and that's it. Then he's a free agent, so that's something else the Jets super have to be on top of, and he's a beast, and he deserves it.
That's scary. And I say we get us an orange and green. Or mix back and new A's, the killer green.
I love it. All right. Thanks, man, for calling in. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Booyah. All right. A new caller on the show. All right. Great. All right. Wow. I'm getting some scenery, which may be here for, some of my painting. NY Jets FL here. Wow. Okay. Some nice scenery there, brother. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. I have cats everywhere here, too. I'm actually at a place where I store my business stuff, and there's a bunch of cats. If it makes you feel any better, Paul. We're all bonding with cats this morning. I saw yesterday after your dad's presentation, I thought he was going to come up. You were going to come up with a story of, like the Spud Webb, where you're 5'3" and you could dunk over your dad, or step on his, jump on his shoulders and dunk, or
that would have been great.
Some crazy.
That would have been great.
Some crazy story. Yeah. I was hoping for something like that.
Yeah, there was something he didn't tell about the story. So at first, I'm going to be outside of the piggy in the backyard. I was a football player. My dad was a football player. He played in high school and college, and that's where Boy Greendale and all this crazy football passion, everything comes from. But I wanted to dabble in a different sport while football wasn't going on. I played football like my entire life, so I wanted to flip to something else. I wanted to get into basketball. My dad looked at the height, was like. He just kind of yeah, okay, pal. And so he really, I don't know if discouraged, but yeah, okay, pal. Didn't believe. He had no faith. And then eventually, again, get in for the championship. So I did not, he was, your parents must be like, yeah, try everything. Go out there. But he was laughing. He did not think I was going to do very well in basketball. And again, I only ended up with 2 games of the championship game. So, the basketball skills weren't as fully developed. There's no question, but I don't regret it. it. So I resented playing up there. But yeah, so he did not encourage it. So I do want to put that out there in the universe. He encouraged beating me in pig, but he did not encourage the basketball career. Again, maybe because I'm 5'3" in a slanted hill. That could have been a factor. But yes, Bud Webb, legend.
Yes, sir. He could dunk too. I was thinking too. One of your mugs should be your dad's face with the 3-letter word of pig on it. That would be probably appropriate material. I don't need any kind of residuals on that, Paul. You could just take that idea and run with it if you want. So no worries.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but diner food. We don't have too many diners here in Florida, but that's one of the things I do miss in New York is going to a great diner and then just getting any meal you want. You could get breakfast, lunch, or dinner at any time of the day, which is crazy. Yeah. When you think about it,
I am a big kind of mosh posh guy. When I normally go when I'm back home and not like visiting family or something. I normally go to a diner every Sunday, and I do get that kind of mix. I normally get like a breakfast burger that's burger, egg, bacon, and everything. But if that's not available, I like just kind of getting the potatoes, bacon, eggs, getting a little bit of all that action. That's really good. So we'll see. I've never been to this diner that apparently my sister's taken us to, but fingers crossed. She swears by the food. So gotta hope that she is right on that. But I can't wait. I love diners. Phenomenal.
Me too, Paul. On a Jets note, if I have a minute,
yes. Yeah, of course.
I think. Thank you. I think the people that really think we're going to get Roma Dunze, I don't think that guy's even going to be anywhere near the top 10, anywhere near 10. I don't see that.
Okay. I've seen it more recently. So you tell me what, obviously you think it's BS, I guess, but you tell me. The thing that I've seen is in most recent mock drafts from some of the big guys is the last of the 3 big wide receivers keeps going to 9. Some people have Odunze seems to be the most common, but I saw someone recently had Neighbors. That one seems less likely, but Odunze most of the time, and Neighbors like in a flash, where like the Bears are like this last, like a sewage grade. They're like, oh, that's where they catch. And that's been the final one at receiver. But so that's what I've been seeing. So you could call BS on that, I guess. But it does seem hard to believe because someone would be tempted, you'd think.
He's a very skilled player. I mean, like people have said, in any other draft, that guy would be definitely probably a top 5 or 6 pick. But there is some depth. Paul, do me a favor. Take a look when you can. There was a video. I don't know if you've seen it. Mike Martz put out a video of Mike Martz, the former OC of the
greatest on turf, baby.
Yeah. Yes, sir. On the offensive line prospects, and he said Joe Alt. He said he didn't like Joe Alt. He said Joe Alt is a little stiff. His footwork isn't great. And he's so tall, like his rear end can't squat properly. Like he's too high on stuff and he gets off balance. So if anyone sees the same thing, that guy could slide. But then again, why would I want a guy like that at 10? We already have Mackay who can do the same thing. Really, we don't need another swimmer out there. So we need a guy.
Else called him out. Who is that? Cassell? He's the NFL Films guy. He was. He is another one that I did see that video. I didn't see the March one, but he's one that called out all saying he's a finesse player. He's not this. He's not that. And a lot of people are like, whoa, okay. So those are now 2 people that I've heard that have really come out against all recently.
Yeah, he liked the Penn State guy a lot. He said you got to look at upside. People look at raw talent and say, wow, this guy's great. But then you got to. Oops, sorry.
No, that's not me. That's okay.
Oh, okay. You got to look at the upside, development. You got to look at things like that. You don't want a completely raw prospect, but if someone's reached their ceiling, I mean, how much higher are they going to go in the NFL? You got to look at some kind of potential factor. That's why I think Marvin Harrison, I don't know, man. He's great and all, but some of these other guys could be better when you really think about it. I mean, maybe he reached the ceiling and they call him generational, but he's really good. But I don't know. I try to think outside the box a little, Paul. I'm not such a front runner. You know what I mean? I just kind of you got to look at the upside of these players. But I'm sure you're ready to go to the diner. I'm sure everyone will be up by 11 or 12. That way you can get going by like lunchtime, have your breakfast. So I'll let you be, Paul. You have a great day and enjoy time with your family.
All right, will do. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. We'll take one more call here before we put a final bow on this one. And who else could we go to besides the man? It's Ricky New York, baby, joining us here on the program. Ricky, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Look at that autograph. Very nice. Look at that. Look at that right there in front of you. Beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, Hall of Fame 2012. Great. It was awesome. Got to meet him, got to have like a fairly lengthy conversation with him, which was like actually kind of a life-changing conversation, actually.
Oh, that's cool, man. And that is, if I'm squinting, that's Curtis Martin, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Oh, the legend.
Yes, it
That's
is.
Awesome, man. Good for you.
And,
that's so cool.
You know, like that whole weekend when I got there, like as soon as I walked into the building, like I passed Terry Bradway on the stairs. I got upstairs and was looking around at the bus, and I turned around and like Kevin Mawai was standing there, and his wife took a picture of me and him together.
Oh, cool.
And you know, I saw Vinny while I was there, which Vinny's, you know, I live in Tampa, so I've seen him around here. Like,
sure,
I know people who know him,
right.
and so I've met him before. But man, yeah, just a great time, great weekend that weekend.
Yeah, I went to the Hall of Fame for the first time this past August. The coolest. I wanted to go. It was on the bucket list forever, and it lived up to all the hype. You're right. You're rubbing elbows. You're looking around like, oh, this guy, Hall of Fame. Like you're just walking among Hall of Famers. They're just there to enjoy the Hall of Fame weekend because it's a massive party. It's a massive enjoyment thing. So yeah, and to be there for the game and all that. It's just amazing. Yes.
Absolutely. You know, and like if anybody, you know, if you're a real football fan and you haven't gone, like you got to go at least one time in your life. And like, you know, even I remember like one day after like the autograph session, I was like walking and this guy comes up to me with his kid and they're like, "You're a really, really big Curtis Martin fan, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I was his agent when he played." And I like actually sat down with his agent. Wow. We had lunch together. But like, yeah, man, it was awesome. It was a really great weekend.
Wow, that's so cool.
I'm gonna have to like issue a rebuttal to the last caller because
please do. Yes,
you can't just draft. You can't draft too heavily based on upside. There's a saying in the NFL: potential gets you fired. Potential is that word that gets coaches fired. You know. Yeah, I don't want to take a chance on what a guy could be. I want to draft a guy that I know is exactly as advertised.
And I'm in the same camp as you, by the way, because I'm a massive, to the point, I'm a massive Marvin Harrison Jr. fan. And I think to have such a high floor, and I think sometimes when we talk about that, although it's an interesting point to mention that maybe for some of these guys that are, you know, multi-year starters and they're there for a long time in college, you're like, wow, maybe this is just who they are. And by the way, if it is just who Marvin Harrison is, awesome. I just have a really great receiver who's ready to step in from day one and he's going to kill it. I just think that he is so much more. So he's already really good. And that's what really intrigues me in this all-in season and hopefully for the next decade plus of Marvin and Garrett being right next to each other, to me, is spectacular. I would love for that to happen. But I still think there's even more. So there's the floor where you just know what he is. I think he's the safest player in this draft. Like there's bust potential, I suppose, with everyone. But I just feel like there's so minimal bust potential with Marvin because of the things he brings. It's not like Chris Johnson, for instance, right? CJ2K, who we had here on the Jets. He had elite speed, and he was going to have that elite speed for a long time. But after it was gone, he was out of the league. Like Marvin doesn't have like a thing that is going to be there and then like eventually that trait wears away. The things that he brings to the table, that big ass body, his ability to win in some of those crazy contested catch scenarios and everything else, I mean, just all of those things to me are never going to regress. Like speed could regress, this skill, that skill. He doesn't have skills that regress, at least in my mind, which makes me feel very good about, you know, getting a guy like that in the building. So yeah, respectfully to NY Jets FL, I do push back just like you. I love Marvin, but I can understand how people are tantalized by box number 2, door number 2. Ooh, yeah, he's pretty good. Not
you know what
could be this.
The funny thing is I'm not real sold on box number 2, and I've been kind of on the fence about a few prospects, and recently I had a conversation with a guy that's like, you know, a draft analyst. Like that's where he makes his bread and butter. He does draft stuff for some national publications. And I said, I'm familiar with my Florida State guys, and
of course, naturally down there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, last year, the first game of the year, I went to FSU, LSU, and our cornerback, man, he shut Neighbors down. Strictly man coverage too, like mano a mano. 5 targets, 2 catches, 20 yards, no touchdowns, a PBU, and an interception. And one of the incompletions, like Neighbors caught it in the back of the end zone, and he just destroyed him, knocked him clear out of the back of the end zone, so he didn't come down with it. And I mean, he just erased him. And later in the year, Ricky Pearsall, 1 catch for 17 yards. He made him look like a straight up bum. And I was talking to this guy about it, and I was like, are these guys not as good as people think? And he's like, I think it's more of the cornerback being a lot better than people give him credit for. And I went, okay, you know what? That's a really good argument. I mean, that's a secondary that gave up 1 second half touchdown all year long.
Crazy stat.
Well, Patrick Surtain is the DB coach, the senior.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's got those guys playing. And but then I thought about it, and I was like, well, wait a minute. If a good corner can do that to Neighbors, the hell's he going to do when he plays Sauce?
It's a good point.
There's some good corners in the NFL. So now I'm kind of back in that, I'm not so sure about some of these guys. And especially I think Pearsall's going to be like, like Braxton Berrios, maybe I think he's overvalued because, man, I'm telling you, I felt the same way about Anthony Richardson though last year. I thought he was going to be Zach 2.0. I thought he was a bum too.
And we'll have to see because he didn't get to stay healthy. But boy, there's some spectacular moments there. But yeah, we have to see if he could stay healthy. That's a big key. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not just because I hate the Gators. It's just because my team we've whooped those boys and made them look beyond average. Every game the last couple of years. So, proof is in the pudding. I only know, what I see, and that's what I saw. So just, not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I mean, dude, I've watched Neighbors highlights too, and his speed stands out. His speed is scary, but like some of it, I'm like, is he really that good, or is he just fast and he's playing some bad coverages? Like,
and he's got a good team around him, obviously. He had Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. You had Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side. That's the other thing that sometimes – so you get both. When you play on a crappy team, you're like, well, he didn't do as well because everyone's focusing on him. When you play on an awesome team, you're like, oh, wow, he's getting all these favorable matchups, one-on-one coverage and things of that nature. But you can kind of go back and forth for pros and cons on that, though.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah, I just, what? I figured I'd go against the grain and just throw in a different perspective and maybe bring up something that somebody hadn't said before. But
well, thanks for keeping it fresh, Ricky, and awesome. I love the Curtis Martin story. That was cool, man. Anytime you're part of this family, baby. Thanks for calling in.
All right, man. Have a good day, Paul.
All right, you too, brother. Ricky, New York, joining us. All right, we got one more caller. I lied. Let's bring in this man, B-Mac, joining us here on the program. What's up, B-Mac?
Hey, boy, Paul Green. You might have known me. I'm a Packer fan.
Yes.
I'm a big, but the Jets are my second team because they are 8. So since he went to the Jets, I've been on the Jake Asman show a bunch of times. You've probably seen me there.
Of course, yeah. You're a legend. Your legend grows, man. So thanks for popping on over here. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I've been tuning into your show, Green Beans, Jets Chaos.
You've got good taste.
O'Leary, Ryan, yeah. So I've been tuning into all the Jet contact shows, and y'all been doing a great. So
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I just got some things to say.
Of course.
So hopefully, my team and your team can face each other in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Rodgers,
That'd be cool, man.
You know what
yes.
I mean? Sign me up for that. And then the other thing is that this is to your team. I do think y'all should be the favorites to win our division. Now, I get it. The injuries are a concern. But the one thing I don't, the thing that bothers me about from the national media that y'all keep saying that y'all need to stay healthy, y'all old, y'all injury prone. That's not really true. Like people said that, if Rodgers needs to stay healthy, all that stuff. Like before the Achilles injury, he's been a Iron Man. Like the dude barely misses games. Like he missed one game since 2017. And if we look at his entire career, yeah, he had the 2 broken collarbones, but outside those, like he's not like he's been pretty durable. So I get it. He is 40. He's older. The more older you get, the more prone, you come to injury. But I do believe that he will stay healthy next season. And if he doesn't play all 17 games, like let's say if he plays 14 out of 17 or 15 out of 17, like that's still like if you're a Jet fan, y'all would take that.
Of course, I would too, and yeah, that's a stat I like to say a lot. My dad hates that stat, but prior to this Achilles, it just happened for Rodgers. He appeared in 81 of 82 games, and the only miss was COVID. So, and to me, I think a 5-year sample size, which is that sample size not including this Achilles here, is a very large sample size to say this dude takes care of his body. He puts himself in the right place. And the other thing I would just say that's very interesting, B-Mac, that you as a Packers guy would feel so passionate to follow Rodgers here. You must feel like, because I've seen when Rodgers was traded from Green Bay to New York, there's a lot of people said, thank goodness, get rid of that guy. I'm sick of all the BS or whatever. But he delivered a world championship to Green Bay, along with Brett Favre, who also delivered a world championship to Green Bay. Well, I guess that's what I would ask you real quick is, and that one comes from Snowball too, who kind of asked this question is, how deep is your love for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, first of all, I became a Packer fan in 2001.
Okay.
I think so that's when Brett Favre tenure. I think Brett Favre was like the end of his tenure there. So I became a Packer fan because of Brett Favre. Brett Favre,
of course,
the reason like he got me in love with the team. I was never a big football fan back then, but he got me in love with the team, and my favorite color is green. You know what I mean? So
as is mine. We have that in common. Yes.
Yeah. So and then from there, man, Brett Favre got me in love with the Packers, and then when Rodgers came in, he got me in love with football as a whole. So my love for Aaron Rodgers, man, I've been following him like when he was in Cal, you know what I mean? I've been following him since he was in Cal. And, I just think that it's not just him as a football player. I kind of you can call me obsessive, whatever, but as a person, he's very interesting, you know what I mean? Especially now, with his ayahuasca and his darkness retreat. It seems like, people really don't understand him off the field.
Yes, misunderstood.
Like people think he's this weirdo and he's this, crazy person. And, but I think that, his spirituality and his mental health, he talks about mental health. I deal with mental health problems too. I go through therapy for mental health, so, he helps me out with, from there, listen to his podcast, the Aubrey Marcus, he goes deep into that.
Yeah.
So, MBS talked about it 2 days ago about he's a big guy on mental health and all that. And so off the field, I really pay attention to things he does off the field and the insight he gives us. And then on the field, what can you say about him? The dude's a Hall of Famer, you know what I mean?
Of course, obviously.
To me, he's underrated because people knock him for having won a Super Bowl and all this stuff. Well, you gotta remember, not everybody's Tom Brady, not everybody's Patrick Mahomes. Dan Marino had zeros. Dan Marino, not a great quarterback. Drew Brees got one Super Bowl. Drew Brees is not a great quarterback. Brett Favre got one. These guys are all-time legends. So we don't get the one Super Bowl knock. I really don't. I mean, outside of like the man that has multiple MVPs, he's a 4-time MVP, second most behind Peyton. You know, he's won a lot of games. He's been to a bunch of NFC championship games. You know, he has like a 50 winning percentage. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he has Hall of Fame numbers. Like his numbers speak for themselves. Like the stats don't lie. So I just think that, I just think that people don't give him his just due on the field. And then off the field, you know, people really don't understand him off the field.
Yeah, I just can't wait for him to shut up a bunch of people this year. There's a lot of haters, a lot of doubters out there for Rodgers. But as soon as he hits that first touchdown to Garrett Wilson, week 1, primetime game, and he gives us the title, the discount double check, like, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, I did feel bad for y'all Jet fans last year, man, for him to just go out there and boom, 4 plays in. Like, goddamn, man. Like, and we didn't even see him complete a pass. You know what I mean? You know, we didn't even see him, like, and then for him to go out like that, man. So, like, Jet fans, like, I don't know how y'all go through it, man. Like, it seems like y'all curse. Like, what can go wrong will go wrong. Like, with Brett Favre, you know, y'all was on the road, so he got hurt. The butt fumble, you know, last year with the Fail Mary last year with Tim Boyle and like, man, like Jet fans, I have my support 100%, man. And I do want to address. Have you heard Chris County saying that Rodgers is a cancer?
Yes, I heard that very stupid comment from Chris Canty. Yes.
Yeah, man, like that was really out of line, man, and. Like, how can this dude be canceled when he came to the Jets and took a $35 million pay cut? You know what I mean? His teammates voted him most inspirational. Like, you can't be canceled. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're gonna say that, where's the facts? You gotta have facts to back it up. Like, he didn't say any facts. It's just feelings and opinions and a personal agenda. And I just think sports media needs to do better, man. Like, it's just sad, man.
Yeah, I didn't see. So I'll say this for Canty. I didn't get to see the clip. Someone showed me a graphic title, which you see all the times, like on Sports Center's social media or whatever. Like Chris Canty said this quote, and I read a piece of the quote. I don't know if it was the full thing, but that to me was, first off, when you say something like a locker room cancer and things of that nature, when you go to that level, like you need to have some insight to say, like you've heard a first hand account story of something of this or that. It sounds like, from again the reading quote, I have to read the full clip, but it sounds like a lot of hearsay. It sounds like a lot of as Jennifer calls him here on YouTube, wannabe shock jock, that you're getting some of that out there, which I think is really harmful and offensive. Now to Rodgers, I think he's just going to take it in stride and say, cool, another piece of motivating factor, not that I needed it, but let's show that on the pile from Canty. But again, Canty already had me blocked. I always thinks he's weird, although I know people that work with him, so hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I thought it was stupid, incredibly stupid.
Yeah, man. Like this, and it's not just Canty, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright. You know what I mean? Like all these people, like it's like they want to smear this guy's name every single day, every single week. Like I don't get it. And then they want to say, well, the Jets are the Jets, and Rodgers, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna, he's too old. I just really hope for y'all Jet fans. Like I can't wait for Rodgers to get back on the field for y'all and shut all these haters up. And I really hope y'all go all the way. Unless it's against the Packers, you know what I mean? Unless it's against the Packers, but if we don't make it somehow, y'all make it to the Super Bowl against like San Francisco. I kind of hope y'all smoke their ass because I hate the 49ers with a passion. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's really I want to talk about, man. Again, man, you're doing great. Keep it up. Don't let the haters bring you down.
Love it. Thanks, B-Mac, and we'll have to bring you back on again in the future. Thanks for making your debut, brother, here on the program. I've seen you around, but you've now joined these streets. All right, I guess it's been requested, so you get 30 seconds to rebut NY Jets FL. I think I see you over there somewhere. All right, you're on camera. Here you go.
I'm here.
Yeah, that's okay. You get your rebuttal. Yeah, of course. A rebuttal against Ricky, New York. We've got collar on collar crime here. All right, let's roll.
Yeah. Real quick.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is you don't want to trade up and overdraft a Harrison or all. You know what I mean? You got to trust your coaches and your process to evaluate players. So I'm not saying we don't have the luxury of the 5th pick. If we have the 5th pick, we could probably take Harrison. He's a great player. But we don't have that luxury. We need other pieces. So we're not going to trade up and, possibly give a first rounder to get Harrison. So my point was that you got to look at the upside of players in that respect, not like, oh, I'm going to take the 5th best receiver because I think he could be, a Hall of Famer one day. That's not what I was trying to say. That was my point.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you, NY Jets FL. As Ricky says, apparently your time is up. You had a stopwatch out, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm a man of the people. I listen to people, but I allowed a rebuttal for that comment. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Boy Green Daily. 700 plus people in the room. We appreciate you. Again, the free way to contribute is by liking the video, hitting subscribe down below. From love making passionate instrumental music earlier to all the wonderful callers and Ashton Davis trying to get him back. We had a little bit of everything here on this show. Again, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching after the fact, or you're listening to the audio podcast, make sure you show your support no matter where you're watching. Another massive shout out to Shadow Realm Baby for joining the dark side of the Force, the Boy Green Super Fan Club, joining that membership group, which again is available. Another recent member, Nick, who joined the membership group as well. Appreciate you, brother, and all you guys that have been doing this. Phenomenal. Paul, please whisper goodbye. I am a man of the people. Goodbye, everybody. There you go. Like the video. Hit subscribe. We'll see you next time tomorrow morning. Enjoy WrestleMania night number 2. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see you then. Peace out, everybody. God bless.